Am I live? Oh, I'm live. Good morning, everyone. This is Kim from Kimberbell Designs, and this is take 2 because we didn't want you to have to watch me sideways. You might get a kink in your neck if you do that too long. So we're going to try this again. I am live from International Quilt Market in Houston, Texas, and we've got all sorts of new things here at Kimberbell to share with you, but perhaps the thing I am most excited about are our new orange pop rulers. So there's a square set here and a rectangle set here, and you may be thinking, okay, so what's the big deal? Let me show you. Okay, so if you machine embroider or just sew, you know that you want to cut your blocks a little bit larger than what you need for your quilt, your finished quilt. And if I say, for example, stitched out our new bike on a larger piece of fabric, but I said, hey, now you need to take this bike and cut it to a 6.5 by 8.5 inch block, it might give you shivers, right? You're kind of nervous. You're kind of thinking, there's no way. How do I do that? Do I split it down the middle and measure out from each side? And then you're bound to cut one side more than the other. And then, heaven forbid, your block is not centered. I know, the struggle is real, folks. I get it. So this type of ruler helps solve that problem. So let me show you how it works. So we've got our rectangle set here, and I've got a very large rectangle, which is my 8.5 by 10.5 inch block. We're looking at the inside cuts here. We've got a 6.5 by 8.5 inch size. They're all labeled right here so that you'll know which one to find. And I'm going to set this aside because this is what I'm going to use here in a minute. We have a 4.5 by 6.5 inch size. And then we've got some extra bonus rulers, which I'll talk about here in a minute. All right. So I've decided that I want my 6.5 by 8.5 inch block, and now I can place it over there, and because it's got this open frame, everything's going to lay nice and flat. And now I can visually see, I've got my center markings here as well, and I can see before I cut that this is going to make the perfect 6.5 by 8.5 inch block. But if I wanted to have, say, my bicycle down here at the bottom corner of my block because it's, you know, riding along, then I could certainly see that and cut it. I could move it to the top, wherever it may be. Now, the other cool thing about this is that each of the rulers have this no-slip grip on the back of it, and they have these extended channels. That's the key here. These extended channels, and you'll see why here in a minute, why that's important. So let's put this on there, and I think, you know what, maybe I want to actually make it an 8.5 by 10.5 inch block. I can do that by now putting that frame, popping that on top, and now removing this frame, and now I've got an 8.5 by 10.5 inch block. I could think, you know what, I wonder if this block will fit in a smaller size, my 4.5 by 6.5 inch block. Well, I'll grab that, pop it in, and I go, oh, no, it's not going to work because it's covering it up. So I know that's not going to work, but I'm going to keep this one and make this one work. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave on this outer frame because it gives me more of a base to put my hand on. Okay, now let's do the fun cutting. Because we're looking at the inside channels, I'm just going to start here and cut. Cut. See, and because these are extended channels, you're going to get the perfect square corners there and the perfect size block for your quilt. Now, these work perfectly with our Kimberbell quilt projects and our pillows and all of our other types of projects, but because they're standard quilt sizes, quilt block sizes, they'll work beyond that. Now, say for example, I really like, let's say, this quilt right here. It's our new Hello Sunshine quilt, and I like the layout of it, but maybe I want to change that to a Halloween quilt or a Christmas quilt. Well, if those blocks, any of your other designs that you already have out there on your machine or that you want to stitch out, if it fits in those rulers, it's going to work with this quilt layout. You can have an entirely new quilt just by using these quilt frames. All right, of course they make great fussy cut rulers too. All right, so now we've got the rectangle set, which has this large one. Here's the medium. Here's the smaller 4.5 by 6.5 inch size, and we've had some extra space here, and we said we've got to use that space for some other kinds of great rulers, right? Well, we utilized it by putting together two flying geese unit rulers. That sticks right in there, and we've got our tumbler block, which we use for a lot of different projects, including our new bench pillow. As well as other ones. And then there's an extra little bonus 3.5 inch ruler with 1/4 inch markings. So that's our rectangle set. Now our square set looks like this in the package. Very similar, but let me show you what comes with that. So we've got the 8.5 by 8.5 inch block, 6.5 by 6.5, 4.5 by 4.5, and then we utilize that space in the center to do 2 half square triangle ruler blocks. Okay. Now, of course, you can think now we could make even more quilt block sizes, because not only could you cut, of course, on the inside frame with those extended channels, but then think beyond that, you can cut around the outside frame as well. And so you've got double the amount of square and rectangle blocks. So that is the Orange Pop rulers. Are there any questions?
Lots of comments. I love these rulers. Pretty cool. Lots of wows. Anna, brilliant. Thank you for that.
Well, you know, heaven forbid we should off-center our quilt blocks. It's stressful, isn't it? It's stressful trying to center things perfectly, and you did all that work, and now you want it to look right in your quilt, and this helps solve that problem.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.